Eamon O'Carroll, your thoughts after Bradford have suffered defeat here at the LNER Stadium by 25 points to 14 to the York Knights?
Yeah, obviously very disappointing. We knew this was a dangerous game. We knew that where York are currently sitting isn't a reflection of the type of team they are, and they've got a lot of quality. And today, for whatever reason, we got some areas wrong, and it hurt us. So it's a big lesson. It was really disappointing. There's a disappointed group in there. Obviously, I am as well. We've had some good feel in the camp. It's really important we stick together now and through the tough times as well. It's not the end of the world, but we're gutted.
What happened with Dan Smith, because he was on the team sheet, but then you started with Fenton Rodgers?
Yeah, we lost him in the warm-up. So he came in halfway through the warm-up and said he'd tighten up in his hammy. He went back out to see if he could get through, and he did the right thing. Said he wasn't right, so we started Fenton, who was due to be on the bench, and Elliot came in as 18th man.
How pleased were you with that strong start, and then equally a bit disappointed that you couldn't continue with how you started?
Yeah, I think that's probably the story of the day, to be honest with you. I thought we did some things well. I just said to them there, the amount of individual effort that we had was brilliant, but we probably had 3 times as much dumbness, which really hurt us, and hasn't been us. We got that area right, and even if we're under periods of pressure, I don't think we was as strong and as connected as we've been in the previous games. So difficult one to kind of digest now. I'll obviously have a good look at it over the next couple of days. But I thought when we were poor, we were really poor. But then certainly some individuals tried the best to do the best, but it's a team sport, and we didn't get that area right today.
Certainly in that first half, with the sun in your faces, Liam Harris made life difficult for you with a couple of errors from McGowan and George Tafua.
Yeah, and they held their hands up. They wanted to be better there. I thought in terms of our kick pressure, we were really good. We highlighted that during the week. I thought we did the right thing. Obviously, I'm in the stand, so I wasn't too sure whether there's a bit of wind there, but we didn't cope with that well at all.
Half time, it looked like you were straight in and out of the dressing rooms. Was it short and swift?
Yeah, pretty much. I just said to them, we're probably trying to find the easy route against a team that's desperate, and we need to get back at being resilient and doing the things that we've done really well over the last month or so, and that's been hard, and that's been determined, and just sticking to a game plan and not trying to find that easy way out with a pass when you're getting driven back, or just copying your medicine sometimes. So as well, I didn't think that York had to work hard for the territory. I thought we didn't nail our last plays like we had been doing, and then they were starting probably 30 metres out. So I think we were defending okay, but then we struggled to probably contain them. So put ourselves under a lot of pressure. So I think the scoreline at half time, I think we were quite lucky, and that was a positive for me. It was like, well, you've been under the pressure all the time, so let's try and flip that now, but it's going to take probably 30 minutes to do so. We had to be patient with it, and then I didn't think we started the second half well at all.
Well, I was going to say the start of the second half, I think Ben Blackmore had to make that play, otherwise Tom Lyman's in at the corner, but from the resulting scrum, 60 seconds into the second half, Liam Harris is crossing the line.
Yeah, and that was the disappointing one, because we didn't quite nail our last play, put ourselves under pressure when we didn't need to. And then, yeah, you're right, the ruck before was really, really quick, so Ben did the right thing there in doing what he did. And then, we've been in that position so many times this year, and I have the utmost confidence in the group that they stick together and they see that period out, but the try we conceded there was just far too easy. Not our standard at all, and it'll be difficult viewing on Tuesday.
You lost Chester Butler then after that try. What's the latest with him?
Yeah, he stuck a bang to his hip, so he don't look comfortable at all. We'll look after him and see where he goes to, but I've literally just seen him then, so he seems okay, just very uncomfortable.
There's still around 35 minutes to go in the game when Chester leaves the field, but that's obviously putting pressure on the interchange bench, and then I think it was Tyrone Ott's pass, he was going out towards Gil Tafua, and then Liam Harris picks it and goes 90 metres.
Yeah, the disruption isn't an excuse at all. The 17 we had out there today were more than capable of sticking to a plan and getting the result. It didn't go that way, so that'd be disrespectful to York. I think, Tyrone, I thought when he came on in a position that he's not practiced much and did really well. He had some good touches. Really unlucky with that one. But yeah, that's just the way that goes sometimes. Frustrating, but that period of the game we had to play a little bit, and we were doing that, and we got burnt.
You mentioned individual efforts. Aidan McGowan, I think it was a couple of try-saving tackles, or one in that second half on Jordan Thompson, which looked like an almost certain try. That must at least hearten you for things to come?
Yeah, I can never question effort with this group. I just can't. But he's making too many try-saving tackles. We're having too many that are having to be desperate when we don't need to. So it's more the manner in why we're in those situations that is, which is really disappointing. I know the team's got effort. And they really have, but you can't win games at this level just on effort alone, and we learned that lesson today.
Just spoken to Andrew Henderson, and he reckons York were high 80s, 90% on the completion rate, and that's ultimately a big factor in itself, how York performed in starving Bradford of possession and territory.
Yeah, and we complemented that by not completing as well. So again, something that we spoke about, the last 3 games that I've looked at, they've been doing that. They've completed really high, and they'll wait for you just to make an error, and we did. What we didn't do well then was respond, and that's something we have been doing. So we need to find the reasons why that is, and be better, because we don't want to be a team that wins 3 on the bounce, loses 1, 3 on the bounce and then loses 1. We want to be better than that. You
mentioned the sort of flat end of set of 6. Is an example of that Jordan Lilly driving the ball in on tackle 4, that's then taking him out of that last tackle play?
So sometimes, Jordan will take the ball there if he sees an opportunity, which I want him to do. So that's fine. That was closer to the line. It was more our midfield to yardage end of sets that I didn't think we quite nailed. I thought our skill was quite poor and put Jordan under pressure sometimes, and then just the type of kicks. I thought probably the first 4 or 5 sets we did really well. We put it in a corner, defended really well. For whatever reason, we went away from that, and we allowed York to start their sets probably coming out of their 30, which changes your system defensively a little bit, and it's not as restrictive. So but yeah, look, take nothing away from York. I thought they were really good. They were desperate, and by the looks of it, they wanted it more than us today. So that's my job to find out why.
Zach Fulton ended up going off with a HIA. Is he okay?
Well, he's okay, but yeah, he's obviously he don't remember what happened. So the medical staff are looking at him now. So I'll get a report on how the players are. I literally went in and spoke to him very briefly and came straight out to do my press. So I'll find out more when I go back in.
Is it fair to say there could be a question mark over his involvement next week against Widnes?
Yeah, that'd be fair to say, obviously, but we'll get to that point when we get to it. We've got some bodies back, which should be good, and people will get an opportunity if people are missing.
That fight back, those late tries from Elliot Paposhi and Aidan McGowan, is that small crumbs of comfort, or can you use that for that game against Widnes next week?
No, we'll look at more of the areas where we want to be better. Yeah, I think that's more important. Like I know that the lads have got that in them. That last one certainly is something that we previewed, but we're doing it with the last 5 minutes to go. What we didn't do was earn the right to be able to get some field position and execute some plays, and without looking too far ahead, you've got to get that foundation right, and we didn't do it for long enough periods today, which is disappointing, but we'll learn our lessons and we'll learn them quick.